ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So we have, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, started the chapter second last when we met, and this chapter second is a continuation from the first chapter, wherein in the first chapter it was discussed about we are not the body, we are the soul, eternal servant of Krishna, the true yogis, the transcendentalists. They are the ones who really enjoy in the service of Krishna, and how they reach that place, how they transcend themselves, raise themselves from the bodily conception to the spiritual life, is a topic of chapter 2. So at the end of first chapter, Prabhupada already has given the solution that chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is recommended process for this age of Kali, so that one can raise from bodily conception to the spiritual life. And now in second chapter, he's elaborating on this concept of how is it possible and the process, how it works. So in the first paragraph, we have seen there are 4 kinds of transcendentalists: Hatha yogis, Gyan yogis, Dhyan yogis, and Bhakti yogis. So all of them are eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. Okay? And the word yoga means link up, or another meaning is plus. So yoga means the connection between the lost soul who is now in a material condition, he getting reconnected with the Supreme Lord, reconnected with his spiritual position. That is yoga. And another meaning is plus, meaning at present we are all minus Krishna, minus God, minus the Supreme. And when we add Krishna to our lives, only then the human form of life becomes perfect. Otherwise, we have discussed one example. Prabhupada quotes always in this regard that how many zeros are there, the number value will be 0 only. But if you add 1 in front of it, then the zeros value to that 1. Otherwise, zeros without 1 is complete 0. Similarly, human form of life without Krishna is animal life. There is no meaning in it. It's the same as animal life. But when there is Krishna, that is what is adding value to this human life. It is making the human life so precious. Okay, so the second paragraph we have seen that the process of how to elevate oneself from this material platform to the spiritual platform, from the material contaminated this world to the transcendental world, the spiritual world. The secret lies at the time of death. So the success of human form of life is measured at the time of death. So that is like the finish line. When there is a running race, the finish line is what decides who is a winner. So time of death decides that who is successful in this, making the human form of life useful to realize Krishna. And so this is a final exam. Death is a final exam. So when do we prepare then for this exam? During the lifetime. So life is actually preparation, and death is a examination. We have seen it, and there was this beautiful shloka also. Prayana kale. Prayana kale means the moment of death. The journey starts, right? Prayana means usually the journey. Prayana kale is very beautiful way of saying of given word given to death. It is not something that is stopped, it is over, it is end. No, it is the start of the journey of the soul from this body to the next. So at that time, where the journey will lead to, the destination, that will depend upon what? Manasa chalena. Hmm? So when one remembers Krishna uh, at the time of death, then he can fix his life hair between the eyebrows, it is said. And then in full devotion, he just concentrates on Krishna and attains Krishna. So whoever we remember at the time of death, we attain that same position, same place, same consciousness. So be in spiritual consciousness, fix yourself in service of Krishna, remember Krishna, and reach that destination where you can serve Krishna. So let us continue. And the third paragraph, who will read, Mataji's? Who is
I
reading?
will read
Ramya
Mataji.
Mataji, please read.
Just as a student studied a next no Mataji. Whatever state Mataji.
Just as a student studies,
Ah, as a student studies a subject for 4 or 5 years and then takes his examination and receives a degree. Similarly, with the subject of life, if we practice during our lives for the examination at the time of death, and if we pass the examination, we are transferred to the spiritual world. Our whole life is examined at the time of death.
please read the sloka also.
Yeah. Yam yam vapsi वपि स्मरणभावं त्यजेत् अन्ते कलेवरं तं तं एवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद् भाव भवैतः
Bhavitaha, yes.
भावितः. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail.
Hmm. So from this chapter, we
There
will
is
remember this. Yes, Mataji, we'll continue little later. So from this
okay,
chapter, let
Mataji.
us remember this shloka number 8.6. Okay. This is where the actual purpose of human life and what is the significance of life at least, first of all. What is death? What is the destination of the soul after death? This question everyone has, no, from the beginning, everyone in every sphere of life, like whether they are from different cultures or countries, usually everyone has this question, that what is this death and what happens after death. So answer is given here, 8.6. Remember the shloka number 8.6. From first chapter we remembered two shloka numbers, right? We remembered what one is 5.29, which is called peace formula, and that is Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam, that verse. And here it is, one word is 2.14 from first chapter. 2.14 is the words for tolerance. The numbers we have
Sita.
remembered. We did not remember the shlokas, of course, just the numbers we remember. And whenever we have such a situation where we have to, go back and understand or read, we can at least go back to Bhagavad Gita, take that shloka and read about tolerance and about, peace formula. These two are very practically we can apply in our lives. So just remembering the number also will help us to at least open the book and read. And here in this chapter, this shloka, we will remember the number 8.6. So if possible, we will remember at least the first two lines. That way, it is easy for us to then remember the meaning also. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram. Okay. Tyajanti ante is what? Tyajanti word comes from tyaga. That is giving up. Ante Kalevaram. At the Anta is what? Anta everyone knows, right? Kannada, Hindi, English, sorry, not English, Tamil, Telugu, maybe this word is there. Antam is like stop. Kalevaram is this body. Tyajanti Ante Kalevaram means when the body is given up at the end, when the body is Tyagam happens at the end. Then Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam. What Yam Yam means whatever. Yam Yam whatever. Vapi Smaran Bhavam. Remembers in that state, in that bhava. So whatever state of being one remembers when he gives up his body. Tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Tam tam is that, whatever, and here it is that. That state only he will attain without fail. And this is Krishna is telling to Arjuna. So Arjuna he is addressing as Kaunteya, the son of Kunti. So sometimes Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, whenever we will read Bhagavad Gita, we will see how he uses particular name for Arjuna. Whenever he wants to invoke a certain mood in the person, he will address certain name. Like how here he is saying Kaunteya means son of Kunti. Kunti is such a great devotee. She knows all the philosophy. So now you are born to such a great woman, Kaunteya. Arjuna, remember you are son of Kunti. You should know all these basics. That is why Krishna is addressing Arjuna as Kaunteya. So I have a question for you all. What is this analogy? Student studying for exam means what?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Means we are also practicing this spiritual life as to give the exam at the end of our life as while death.
Very nice, Mataji. Thank you. Now we will continue the next paragraph.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
There is a Bengali proverb that says that whoever one does
Whatever.
whatever one does for perfection will be tested at the time of his death. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes what one should do when give up the body for the dhyana yogi. Sri Krishna speaks the following verses. Yad aksharam veda viddo vadanti vishanti yad यतयो वीतरागः यद् इच्छान्तो ब्रह्मचार्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्राहेण प्रवाक्ष्यसे सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनो हृदि निरुध्याय च मूर्ध्नि आध्यात्मना प्राणाम् Ashtito yoga dharanam. Can I stop, Mataji, or can you continue?
This translation also, please read, Mataji.
Okay. Persons learned in the Vedas who utter Omkara and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. Bhagavad Gita 8.11 and 12.
So in this paragraph, now Prabhupada starts to explain about what he told in the first line of this chapter. He said first line of the chapter only, there are 4 types of yogis, no? Hatha yogis, Gyan yogis, Dhyan yogis, and Bhakti yogis. So one by one, he will explain now who is a Hatha yogi and how he leaves the body. because he told that everyone is eligible to leave to the spiritual world. All these yogis, when they practice it properly, perfectly, without any deviations, every yoga system is useful only. But with that yoga system, what they have to do, what they have to do at the time of death, and then will be the destination, till where they can reach with that, with the help of that yoga. What is the next destination for them? So one by one, he is explaining now. He starts with the Hatha yogis and the Hatha yogis also, they practice like this, no? They practice by using what? By using their senses only, they will practice the yoga. How they will use the senses? They'll use control of senses mostly. And here it says not only just control of senses, but they actually, uh, the yogis, okay, what all he does? One is that he practices celibacy, okay? And one more thing he does, the yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements. He will stop all the sensual engagements. Means with all the senses, he will first stop all the senses work. That kind of practice he does. And what he reaches, where he reaches, he will reach Brahman. He will enter into the Brahman. What is this Brahman? So, Brahman is actually the effulgence of Krishna. So, in the spiritual world, there is no sun, electricity, there is no moon for light. It is only the effulgence of God. With that only, the light is there, and there is no need of any more artificial lights there. It is enough. It is more than enough. And this is only just the light that is emanating, the effulgence of the Lord. These yogis, they just want to reach that place only. They just want to enter the light of the Lord. They are not yet in that uh, desire. They don't desire entering the service of the Lord, seeing the Lord personally, talking to Him, serving in His planet. They don't desire that. They just want to enter into the light of the Lord, the effulgence of the Lord. That's all. This is what is their destination. And for that, what they have to do, first of all, they practice celibacy completely, perfectly. Mhm. And then they stop all the sensual engagements. Then closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of their head. So they gradually take the life air to the top of their head. While what time this is at the time of death. And during their life, what they have done, these persons have learned the Vedas and uttered the Omkara. And these great sages have taken renounced order, that is sannyas also. So during the life, they have practiced like this. They have stopped their sensual engagements. They have detached from all kinds of sensual engagements. They don't um, enjoy any of the sensual activities at all, and moreover they have stopped the engagement of the senses. They are just sitting at one place. They're not using their senses most of the time. They're completely detached. The senses ask for something, they don't give it, that's all. And also how they practiced, they uttered the Omkara, they learned the Vedas, and they accepted sannyasa. And then like this they will leave their body. They close all the doors of the senses. Hmm? So there are 9 holes in the body, no? All the 9 holes they will close and fix the mind on heart and take the life air to the top of their head. And in that way, when they leave the body, they will, what is their desire? Their desire is to enter the Brahman. So this is one type of yoga. Hatha yogis, Hatha yoga is almost always mixed with Dhyan yoga, because when the they do a lot of these physical asanas to control their senses. After doing the asanas, the mind is also there, one of the senses, right? So that mind they will fix on the sound, omkara, or they will fix their heart, and they concentrate on the breathing, the life air, start to control the life air, because at the end of death, at the time of death, they have to take the life air, control the life air also to move towards the head. Right now we have no control on the life air, right? There is life air moving, the oxygen moves. We inhale and it moves, it goes inside, and where it is moving, we don't know. And also there is no control about how we will, where the life air will come out from. Sometimes sometimes we see that we yawn, life air is coming out, we don't have control over that. And sometimes we sneeze, air coming out. So these is all, we don't have it such control over our breathing like air, and also the prana that keeps everything in working condition in the body. You don't have control over that. But these yogis slowly they take control over that with their asanas and also dhyana. They concentrate on the life air, and they concentrate on the sound omkara. And while they only desire one thing, that after leaving this body, I should go and enter the Brahman, the light of the Lord, the effulgence of the Lord. So this is one kind of yoga, and one kind of yogi we are discussing here. Okay, we'll move to the next type of practice, or more details about this practice. Who will read this paragraph?
Yes, Mataji, I will read. In
Yes.
the yoga system, this process is called pratyahara, which means just the opposite. Although during life the eyes are engaged in seeing worldly beauty, at the death one has to retract the senses from their objects and see the beauty within. Similarly, the ears are accustomed to hearing so many sounds in the world, but at the moment of death, one has to hear the transcendental Omkara from within. Om itye ekaksharanam Brahma व्याहारन माम अनुस्मरना यह प्रयति त्यजान देहम सायति paramam gatim. Next pair also read, Mataji.
Yes, this is translation of this verse, Mataji.
Okay. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters. If one thinks of the supreme personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets.
Yeah. So from the previous paragraph to this paragraph, what we have seen, the destination is different now. The previous yogi, he was only thinking of reaching up to Brahman only. Okay. So what he was concentrating on, he was fixing his mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the body. So this is where he was concentrating, and what is his desire? His desire was to reach the Brahman, and he reaches Brahman by this process. And now, if the yogi, he concentrates, he thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead while quitting his body. He also is practicing yoga. He also is practicing all the, the eight stages of yoga are there. And what are the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara? Here, pratyahara is mentioned in this para. Dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. These are the 8 stages of yoga system. And pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses from outside and going inward from the outside world, just like how it is seen here. The eyes want to see the outside worldly beauty. At death, one has to retract the senses from their object and see the beauty within. The ears want to hear outside many sounds, but the yogi, what he practices, hear only Omkara. In this way, he practices his pratyahara, and this yogi is desiring he's thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he will certainly reach the spiritual planets, not only just the light of the Lord, but he will reach that planet where the Lord is. And by vibrating Om here also. This is a supreme combination of letters. So Om is what actually it is addressing the Lord only, the Supreme Lord only. All the names, all the sounds, initially they belong to the Supreme Lord. Everyone is only deriving the name from the Supreme Lord. Right? Like say example, Indra. Indra means the one who is the king, right? So original king is Krishna only. Ishvara, Parameshwara. Original Ishvara, Parameshwara, everyone is only Krishna. That is the Supreme Lord. So original sounds all belong to him. Om, if someone says that I am addressing this God, who is God? It's Krishna only. Whatever name we may be calling, every name first belongs to Krishna. We have only borrowed his names, even the Devatas and everyone. They have just borrowed the names from the Lord. Say, for example, someone gives a name to his own child, say Vishnu. The child doesn't become Vishnu. The child is taken the name. He's just been called by the name Vishnu. Similarly, all all the devatas and all the beings, all the sounds, the origin is Krishna. And so when the yogi is vibrating this Om syllable all the time and only hearing to that sound, he's very much practicing pratyahara here. Pratyahara means no outside, only inside. Outside, the eyes will say, see that, see this. He will only think of Krishna, close the eyes or take a form of the Supreme Lord, and he will only focus on that. The ears will say, hear that music, that song, this song. He will say, no, only Omkara. With this practice, if he is desiring and he is remembering Supreme Lord, then he will reach the spiritual planets. So you can see the difference of these two yogis, no? In this paragraph, he is reaching the Brahman, and in this paragraph, he will reach the spiritual planets. Okay. Next paragraph.
In this way, all the senses have to be stopped in their external activities and concentrated on the form of Vishnu Murti, the form of God. The mind is very turbulent, but it has to be fixed on the Lord in the heart. When the mind is fixed within the heart and the life air is transferred to the top of the head, one can attain perfection of yoga.
Hmm. So this yogi is fixing his mind on the form of the God. Murti, Krishna Murti, Vishnu Murti. The mind is very turbulent, very disturbed all the time. But if it has to be fixed on the Lord in the heart, that is fixed on the Lord in the heart means this is Paramatma. So this yogi is basically thinking of the Paramatma form of the Lord. He is definitely thinking about the form. He's not just thinking about the effulgence or light of the Lord, but he's thinking about the form of the Lord. And in this form also, which particular form? Fixed on the Lord in the heart. In everyone's heart, Paramatma is there. Paramatma form is a beautiful form having four-handed hands, like how we see Vishnu, right? Standing in each hand, he has got something he's holding. What is he holding in each hand? In one hand is lotus, other hand is conch shell. Then the other one has a gada. and the fourth has the chakra. So this is a form of the Lord in everyone's heart, Paramatma. When this yogi fixes his mind on that form inside his heart, he's fixing on the form of Paramatma who is inside his heart, and then transferring the life air to the top of the head. Then he attains perfection of yoga. Right? So, who is more perfect compared to the one who is fixing his mind on the heart and desiring to enter the Brahman and taking the life air to the top of his head? He's also established in yoga and he reaches Brahman. And Prabhupada here says, but who? The one who is remembering the Lord in his heart, the form of the Lord, the Paramatma form of the Lord. And then doing the same, fixing the mind on the heart and transferring life air to the top of his head. He is attaining perfection in yoga. He's more perfect. Now, next paragraph.
At this point, the yogi determines where he is to go. In the material universe, there are innumerable planets, and beyond this universe, there is the spiritual universe. The yogis have informed of these places from Vedic literatures. Just as one going to America can get some idea what the country is like by reading books, one can also have knowledge of the spiritual planets by reading Vedic literatures. The yogi knows all these descriptions and he can transfer himself to any planet he likes without the help of spaceship. Space travel by mechanical means is not the accepted process for elevation to the other planets. Perhaps with a great deal of time, effort, and money, a few men may be able to reach other planets by material means, spaceships, spacesuits, etc. But this is a very cumbersome and impractical method. In any case, it is not possible to go beyond the material universe by mechanical means.
Thank you, Manoj. So everyone desires to space travel, no? If you see the children also, adults also, NASA also, everyone wants to travel in the space from one planet to other. They want to travel. Why? Because actually the soul wants to travel. Soul wants to get away from this planet and reach the planet where the Lord is and serve Him. That is a natural tendency of the soul. That is why it is seen everywhere. Everyone wants to space travel. What is there on other planets? I want to know. I want to go there. But the problem is they are trying to know by using some material means. But the yogis, what they do, they get this information from the literatures. Like how Prabhupada is giving here an example of someone going to America, he has to know what the country is like and what are the facilities there, which inside America, which particular state is like what are the rules, what is the law, everything he has to understand. So he start reading about America, knowing about America. These days, watching a lot of videos about America, and then he then slowly gains the knowledge of how to get the visa, how to go there, settle or whatever, work there. So that is how the yogi also collects the information about the spiritual world, where he has to go after death. He will choose by reading about in Vedas about different planets in the spiritual world. In which planet is what kind of service he can do to Krishna. Right? In some planets, it is not possible that you can serve Krishna like a mother or a father. In some planets, it is only respectful, on reverence, that kind of service is available. With a lot of respect, only serve. In some planets, little more is available, little more closeness is available. So everything he will understand from reading the scriptures. And sometimes it is very much possible that he likes only that respectful service only. He doesn't want to be a mother or a father, so he accordingly chooses which is more dear to me. And which kind of service I'm more suitable for. It is not that, like how here we see in materially, everyone chooses whatever is in market demand. What you want to study, or whichever will give me more package, I want to study that. That is how people choose here their careers. But a yogi will choose according to what inspires him more, what kind of services he is more inspired to. And that way he will choose the planet that he wants to go. And all this information he will get from reading the literatures, Vedas, Vedic literatures. And then he decides. See, this is a beautiful thing. At this point, the yogi determines where he is to go. It is not that the soul is helplessly going from one body to another according to whatever is a destination. Because those who do not prepare in their lifetime, whatever comes to their mind at the time of death, it usually is what they have practiced in their lifetime. If they have practiced a lot of, say, suppose uh, greed of having more money, or being fearful, or being violent, that kind of body, he will be automatically transferred. He cannot determine that I want this, I want that body, I can go here, I want to go there. No, only the yogis can determine that way. So at this point, the yogi determines where he is to go. He has all the information, he's prepared well, his visa is ready, and he is going. He has taken the decision. He is not forced to go somewhere else. So the success of life is choosing where I want to go, not just forcefully thrown from one body to another. That is the loss of human form of life. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Vanchakalpatarvyascha kripasindhubhyavach patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.